The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. Jesus entered the synagogue. There was a man there who had a withered hand. They watched Jesus closely to see if he would cure him on the Sabbath, so that they might accuse him. Jesus said to the man with the withered hand, "Come up here before us." Then he said to the Pharisees, "Is it lawful to do good on the Sabbath rather than to do evil, to save life rather than to destroy it?" But they remained silent, looking around at them with anger and grieved at their hardness of heart. Jesus said to the man, "Stretch out your hand." He stretched it out, and his hand was restored. The Pharisees went out and immediately took counsel with the Herodians against him and put him to death. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
The Gospel today is the high point of a series of 5 debates between Jesus and the Pharisees in the Gospel of Mark, including Jesus' authority to forgive sins, Jesus eating with the sinners, Jesus' disciple did not fast, Jesus' disciples picking the grains in the field on the Sabbath, and today, Jesus' healing on the Sabbath. To heal the man with the withered hand, Jesus did 3 things as the Gospel listed. He brought the man up before everyone. He asked about whether it was lawful to do something good on the Sabbath. And then finally, he healed the withered hand with his words without touching the man. Healing on the Sabbath, according to the law of Moses, was still a form of manual work and therefore was not permitted. But Jesus was not a regular healer who had to touch, to examine the sickness, or to use medicine to apply to the body. Jesus healed with the power of his own words, and therefore he did not violate the law because he did not use manual work. All of these details lead us to the main point of the Gospel today. God's law is to show love and mercy, and not to exclude or to cause division. This reminds us about our attitude in life, because many times in our life, we become selective in helping others. We create standards and conditions to help those we like and ignore those we don't. And this day of prayer for the legal protection of unborn children is also a specific opportunity for us to put into practice what Jesus showed us today in the Gospel by healing the man with the withered hand. To bring the matter up before everyone, to question the moral value of the action, and to put into action what is right. All our procrastinations and propagandas about women's rights on their own bodies are basically our way of pushing God aside, to claim that we are now the masters instead of God, and we can freely decide in place of God about bringing life into this world or taking life out of this world. Our pride is causing more harm than good, and we need to pray unceasingly, to act responsibly, and to speak up courageously to protect life as God creates it from its conception until natural death. May love and mercy always be our priority over rigid interpretations of the law and the prideful misconception of our role as collaborators of God to protect and preserve life rather than to destroy and to kill. May God, who has begun a good work in us, also bring it to fruitful completion. Amen.